What's up, duelists? It's happy Halloween time. Happy Halloween. I've got the perfect Halloween deck for everybody. Edison format, Halloween. Everybody's having a good day. I hope you guys are dressed up in costume right now, watching this video right after scoring some king-size candy bars. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. Anyway, on to the deck profile. We've got the King of the Skull Servants and the Skull Servant and the Lady in the White. Some spooky skeletons. And then we've got the Werewolf, Lightsworn Beast. Ooh. And we've got the zombies. Ooh. And we've got the creepy needle bugs. And we've got the zombie world and the mummies, spooky mummies, and the skeleton dinosaur. Okay, it's a spooky deck. It's peak spooky deck. The way the deck works is you summon Drill Warrior, and then you spook your opponent to death. That's how it works. Anyway, I got 4 replays for you guys. They're all versus Dopaminer, one of the most powerful players from the Discord, and we'll just hop right into them. So the first replay I've got going first, of course, because I'm inside his head, all right? I'm inside his head. And I open up with Raiko and some not so spooky cards. I'm going to be honest, none of these cards are that spooky, but maybe they get a little bit spookier. I mean, Plague Spreader's a little bit creepy, I'm not going to lie. If I saw something like Plague Spreader, I'd be like, yo, dog, what's good? You know what I mean? Anyway, Raiko hits the gear frame, mills 3, and we mill a Mizuki, which is just a dub. It's just a fat dub. Sets 2 passes. I set my Dandelion. Don't want a Heavy Storm just yet. I want a Heavy Storm on the turn I go for Caius or Lila or something. I could have gone for Lila that turn, but I figured if I'm going to go for a Heavy Storm, I'm going to go for it all, you know? I go for the Heavy Storm, and he has Road, so I get fucked. Here comes Starbucks Dragon, sacrifice for Dandy, Caius target Starbucks Dragon, get myself a couple of spooky tokens. Ooh, okay, alright. Happy Halloween. Raiko targets Caius, mills 3, and mills a couple of Fire Dogs, so very interesting deck from Dopaminer here. I just pass the turn. Here comes Pitch, special the Fortress, tack a token. I'm big chillin', I draw, I just Lila pop. Lila pop all day, M-Phase mill 3, get myself another spooky monster in the graveyard. Alright, Keegan. Alright, that's enough. That's enough spookiness. You know what, I've had enough. We draw the King of the Skull Servants, and this hand doesn't do anything, so we just pass. He attacks, we draw the Lady in the White, we set her, she's going to help us in the graveyard, she's going to be a pump spell for our King of the Skull Servants. Here comes Flamvel Magician, opponent gets a little antsy with the compulsory, just tries to force some damage here. Hits for 25. I draw my Gores, and we're big chillin' now. I draw Book of the Life, and yeah, we go for it. Banishing the Fire Dog, bringing out the Zombie Master. I'm trying to go for Bryonic here, and then normal summon King after Bryonic, but he has Book of Life, or Book of Moon for my Plague Spreader zombie, so he gets set. Mirror Force is gone because we hit it with Lila, so we're just sending it here. This attack order was a little bit wrong, but it's not going to punish us too much because he doesn't have a deep prison. If he had a deep prison, it would have punished us pretty hard. Here comes Charge, mill 3, nothings, finds Raiko. His hand is pretty much bricked at this point. He's got to go for Gale, have the Gores, brain control the Zombie Master, attack over the Gores. Brain control, ooh. One thing I've noticed that's kind of a flavor win is if you brain control King of the Skull Servants, he becomes 0/0 because he has no brain for you to control. Oh, bars. Anyway, main phase 2, synchro into Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is something I'm surprised is in his extra deck. Should probably just be Armor Master, given that the 3-star tuner in question is Gale. We find Debris Dragon. I'm like, that's just game. I'm going to banish Special Zombie Master, pitch Lady in the White, synchro into Bryonic, gonna Solemn, and then boom, Debris, Black Rose, banish the Dandy, target the Ancient Fairy, and attack for game. This deck is so based. This deck is so fun. Anyway, drawing our 5 cards. Opening hand is looking money. We have a couple of darks and a dark arm, so you know where this is headed. Summon Zombie Master, attack the Raiko. It's gonna trade. He's gonna mill 3. He's gonna reveal a DD Crow, which is scary, but not that scary. Card Trooper mill 3. Again, nothing really scary except for the Flamvels here. We drop Trag. I draw Raiko, and I'm like, that is so money. That is so money. I got my 3,000 Trag. Let's just beat that ass. Let's run that over. But he has Regeki Break, so he goes -1 to out my Trag, which is good for me, honestly, because now I have 2 darks. He's down cards. I can just pass. As long as I don't die this turn, I probably win next turn with like some combination of like junk guy and the other guy. So, yeah. Mills 3, hits a Flamvell Magician. Elects not to play anything further here. Does have that Solemn Judgment. Attacks for 19. Main phase 2, sets monster, sets a back row. Sets the Solemn here. I'm going to go for the 1-for-1 pitch, quick draw Synchron, find Skull Servant. Activate, quick draw Synchron, pitch, Raikou, Synchro into Drill Warrior. Put myself to 3 darks. He's going to go Solemn Judgment, but that puts him at 4,000 life points. And as you can see, Dark Arm Dragon blowing up both monsters. And Book of Life targeting Zombie Master is going to be game. So, yeah, clutch. He didn't set his Book of Moon, which he probably should have. I'm going to be honest. Definitely should have set the Book of Moon there. Wouldn't have gotten OTK. Definitely would have been in a much better spot. But alas, we were able to clutch that one thanks to our opponent not wanting to set his Book of Moon. All right, next match, he switched decks. So we got 4 matches, 4 different decks from the opponent, but 4 of the same spooky deck from me. Spooky skeleton. My hand sucks, let's be real. But we've got Charge of Light Brigade, go find Raikou. I can go ahead and just set my Skull Servant. It's a little bit of a bait, you know. Search Raikou, set Skull Servant. Here comes Future Fusion. I'm like, Diva Hero opponent, try not to open Future Fusion challenge. Impossible. I swear to God, every time I play versus this deck, it's like they have 6 Future Fusions. He's got Treeborn. He's even got the Greffer to pitch and send Zeta. And I'm just like, fuck me. I'm getting Caius next turn no matter what I do. I draw Lila and I'm like, okay, I have a couple of different plays. I could have not summoned Lila here. I could have summoned Mizuki and crashed instead and saved my Lila. But that's just silly, you know? So I'm going to Book of Life, banish the Treeborn because I know I'm getting Caius next turn. There's no way I'm not. One thing I could have done was save my Lila till next turn and then lock up his Treeborn and banish the Malicious instead. But then he would have Miracle Fusion live, and I figured it's better to shut off Miracle Fusion and potentially top deck out of a Caius situation than to like wait a turn on storming his Future Fusion, etc. I'm just going to summon Lila, run over both. King of the Skull Servants is just a genuinely good card. Like, once you have 2 in the grave, it's a legit good card. Pop the back row, and phase mill 3, and we hit Wolf, but still here, Caius destroys us, and what do you know? He has it, so yeah, it's going to banish King, give him the token. He's going to be able to run over both. I could have hit the Zeta, but then he could have still ran over both with Malicious and Treeborn, so there's really no reason for me to not, Treeborn sack for Caius, Malicious run over the Lila, basically. Anyway, he sets back row, we go Allure, we find another King, we banish the Plague, we Heavy Storm, and we do have Quick Draw here, so we can maybe put something together. We can pitch that guy, banish the Quick Draw special, banish the Mizuki special, the Skull Servant, make Turbo Warrior. I'm making this because I'm assuming his deck is just like full of Monarchs. I normal summon King, I attack over Caius, and I attack over his token, and I leave him with nothing in play. So he has nothing in play for this, he has no live miracles, he has nothing, and I'm like, there's very little he can do to probably out this. So I pass, he normal summons Diva off the top. He's able to make Android, or Catastor, sorry. Catastor can run over Turbo Warrior, and I'm like, damn, that is one of his outs. That was basically his one card out besides maybe, no, that was pretty much it. I think that was his only 1 card out there. He sets another back row passes. I set Raikou, set Needlebug, but unfortunately he has an M-Phase Typhoon to pick off our Needlebug, so we aren't able to get him with the battle trick of activating Needlebug and potentially milling a Skull Servant. Sag. He has Rhoda for Armageddon Knight, and at this point we've fallen very far behind. Armageddon Knight's going to send another Zeta. He attacks the King. I debate bringing it back here, but I would have to mill another Skull Servant for that to be okay. He attacks. Raikou's going to activate target ally, and as you can see, we would have milled the Skull Servant, so maybe I should have just trusted my deck and brought it back, but it was difficult. I draw Brain Control, a little bit slow. He has Miracle. He attacks 14, 25. I draw Morphing Jar, which is probably a card I should cut from this deck because it only ever helps my opponent more than it helps me. And then he has Heavy Storm for my Brain Control, which sucks because that was my reversal. And we draw into nothing. So that's going to be the game. We go to the next one. I'm going to keep it quick. It's Halloween. You guys are spending the day with your family. You're trick-or-treating. Let me know in the comments below what you dressed up for Halloween this year. My opening hand sucks balls. That's just the case when you're playing 8 million shitty cards. Try not to open Future Fusion Challenge. Impossible. Literally, every single game I play against Diva Hero, they have it in their opening hand. literally the best card in the deck, and it's always right there in their opening hand. Always, fucking always, every time I play against this deck. I swear to God, I never play against this deck and they don't open Future Fusion. I don't understand how they do it. They have like this magnet, this fucking magnet. It's like a Hobby League Future Fusion when I play against them, I swear to God. Attacks the king. King goes to the grave, passes the turn. We draw Card Trooper. I'm just milling, hoping to hit something. I have to return Black Rose, which is the most mid fucking play in my entire life. Pass the turn back. Opponent sets. We draw Book. I have Kaiku, but of course he has Karma Cut. So yeah, he's going to pitch Caius, which is a pretty good trade for us. He draws return. Passes. We draw Nether King. We deal 1,000. We just draw too many Skull Servants, you know. Draw Lady in the White. Book of Life. He chains DD Crow. I was going to go Book of Life, bring back Plague, Synchro with the White, and then pump up my guy and deal like 5,000. Then potentially have a Brain plus King lethal on the opponent if he ever comes back, but he had the DD Crow when he needed it. We draw so many fucking Skull Servants this game, it's not even funny. I even sided one out. I was siding out one Skull Servant pretty much every single game, so yeah, we draw Sangan here. We're able to attack for a bunch. His hand is pretty bad. It's like really bricked, but he top decks the perfect card to unbrick it, which is Brain Control. And that's the card he needs to not only unbrick his hand, but lethal us. So yeah, that's going to be the second match against Diva Hero. Unfortunate stuff. Anyway, next game. We go first again. He says he added one e-call, but then spoiler alert, surprise, he brought the wrong deck. So we're actually playing against a totally different thing. And I was making a comment here that the percentage of playing e-call in Diva Hero and not playing it is like, it is so much better to play the one e-call because you open Stratos like a significant, like almost twice as much as if you didn't play the one e-call. I just set my Reiko Pass. Here comes Airbellum. That's going to trade. Hopefully turn on the Book of Life. It does, which is based, but not in the best way. It's Lady in the White. I've got Card Trooper, though, which is the nuts, especially when you mill the second and third Dark in a Dandelion. So, holy fuck, let's fucking go. Happy Halloween, you know what I'm saying? Special Dark Arm, blow that shit up. Fucking Book of Life while we're at it. Get that X-Saber garbage out of here. I don't even know what he's playing. At this point, I'm just dealing 8 million damage because I opened a broken-ass Dark Arm Dragon Book of Life. He says, honestly, I'm down to just Q. This deck kind of sucks, but as you can see by this match, there's some fight to this deck. Sangan attack, Hamster activate. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't get Airbellum, but he gets Raikou here. I go Quick Draw, pitch Dandy, special, make Drill, pitch King, set Torrential, pass, flip Raikou, chain Torrential. Sangan could search a large number of things here. I decided to just go for Debris Dragon because it's like, I can Black Rose, you know. Here comes Rescue Cat, and I'm like, oh, fuck, he has a third Airbellum. Oh, no, wait, that's a different part of the game. He has Airbellums, and he could hit my whole hand here, but that's like not very good because Drill can just add back the debris. So he decides to just hit one of them, and he hits the wrong one, which is funny. He attacks with the Raikou, too. I just added the 200 there. He goes Magical Android, Drill, add back the Dandy, Dandy pitch, get the tokens, go for the Stardust Starbucks Dragon, but he actually has the D-Prison, so the deck is putting up a fight. I thought the Starbucks Dragon would be safe here. Alas, I was fucking wrong. Hold up, I gotta sneeze. That was the worst. You know when you like have to sneeze and then you don't? That's literally what happened. Also, I had one of the most cringe things happen to me today. Literally one of the most cringe things happened. So like, I was at In-N-Out Burger. Okay, we gotta pause this because I gotta tell you this story. I gotta tell someone this story because it was so fucking cringe. It made me like really, really hate people. I was in the In-N-Out Burger drive-thru, right? Trying to get my In-N-Out Burger. Or I was trying to get my Borg and fry, okay? And the guy charged me for the order for the guy behind me in line. And so I'm like, I'm sitting there, and he's like, I gotta go get my manager, you know, whatever, like, to undo this, like, thing, right? And then I was just about to be like, yo, it's fine, I'll just buy their lunch. Like, don't worry about it, I'll just buy their lunch, I'll buy my own too. It doesn't matter. You know, whatever. You know, just charge me for both. I was about to do that, and then the guy behind me, because it was taking, like, a few seconds for the guy to figure out that he needed to go get his manager, the guy behind me in the fucking drive-thru line just lays on his horn. and just holds it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I was about to buy this guy's lunch. You know how mad I would have been if I had bought that guy's lunch and he did that? And I'm like, people are such assholes. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. We're going to wait. We're going to fucking wait. And then I sat there and I was like, no, go get your manager. It's cool. It's cool. Just go get your manager. We're going to refund it. There was a problem with the machine. The guy's still laying on his horn the whole time. I'm just like, dude, what? Do you think I'm just sitting here for no reason and not pulling up and getting my food? Because you know there's like 2 windows. And I was like, bro, this guy is fucking losing his shit over like obviously clearly a technical issue. Like, what is honking gonna do? What is it gonna do besides make everybody in the line's life miserable? I was so mad. I'm so glad I didn't end up buying that guy's lunch. I would have been so pissed. Anyway, we take 2,400 here. Sets back row passes. We draw a needle bug nest. We get drill. We get debris. We pitch, banish, go for the black rose play. Here we're going to lose a lot of life points, but I think we're still okay for at least one more turn. He attacks the dandy. We take 21. We get 2 more tokens. He clears the debris. He clears another token. On our turn, we're basically forced to needle bug draw phase. I do see a Caius, or reveal Caius here. Unfortunately, we don't mill enough Skull Servants for me to have a 3,000 Skull Servant, which is what I would want to bring back here, but unfortunately, this is what we have to work with. So I'm basically forced to just attack for 12 and then nuke the field. He's going to be able to search. I need to fade Avarice this turn because he can search Debris Dragon and then Avarice back his Black Rose and then KO us, and that's his line to victory. But I basically need to dodge Avarice for 1 turn. He's going to search Lone Fire. I pass the turn. He doesn't draw the Avarice, and then he just goes Lone Fire into Titanial, attack a token. And I'm like, okay, now I should be able to pull ahead. I grab King back. I can pitch Lady in the white, and now I have a 3,000 Skull Servant, which can run over the Titanial. And it's like, okay, I need to fade Avarice 1 more turn, but he didn't search Debris Dragon, so he'd have to have another Debris Dragon, or he'd have to Avarice into it, basically. He just sets a couple passes. Here comes Drill Warrior, and I get to add back Caius here, and now I'm like actually like crushing, because I'm like, okay, I can Book of Life Goblin Zombie, banish the Black Rose, and now his line to victory is no longer there. And then I can sack for Caius, target his monster, search Mizuki, pitch Mizuki, banish Drill, and then attack with both to play around Mirror Force, because he still has Mirror Force. And I'm like, okay, I've got this one in the bag. I've got the Black Rose banished. I'm big chillin'. He flips Limit Reverse, super clutch Limit Reverse, and then sacks for Caius for game. So his deck's actually pretty legit. It does have some fight to it. Looks like the cat plant deck that I know Snack has played a lot of. Dude, that in and out thing had me so tilted. I was like, bro, why would you do that? Why are people so mad? I don't get it. Anyway, we just start off with Set Raikou. Pass the turn. Here comes Set Monster, pass the turn. I'm cool with flipping Raikou here because even if it's Dandy, we can just pop both tokens. So it's like solid +1, plus we get a mill. And we do hit that Spooky Mizuki, which is super cool. We get a Summon Skull Servant here and just pop both tokens. No matter what happens, even if he clears both my monsters, I can Mizuki back Skull Servant and sack it for Caius, which is really nice. Here comes Airbellum. Don't really care about that too much. Pass the turn. We draw Brain Control. I'm like, thank you, Based God. Let's go Brain Control the Airbellum. Attack for 16. He drops Gores. We are going to hit a card out of his hand. We end up hitting Caius, which is like the best possible card for us to hit out of his hand. And then main phase 2, I have my own Caius. Target is Gores, and I can switch my Skull Servant to defense and pass. So we're actually kind of crushing right now. He attacks over my Skull Servant. Who cares, you know? Sets another monster, passes a turn. We draw Dandy. I'm like, all right, my hand is full of shitty-ass cards. There's Mirror Force on my Caius. I'm like, bruh. I guess I'll set Dandy, try to set up for my Debris Nuke. Here comes the attack from the token. We get our own tokens. He attacks over one of them. Main phase 2, double sack for Titanial, which I'm cool with. I just have Debris Nuke, which I'm going to go for every day of the week here. So we get 2 tokens, pass the turn. Here comes Sidra, attack over a token. Sidra's kind of funny in this matchup, can't attack over Lady in the white. I'm going to charge mill 3. I mill a King, which is really nice. So now we have 2 names in the grave. I'm going to go ahead and set the 3rd name, I believe. Pass. But he does draw that Rescue Cat. So this is why charge is so good in this deck. You can charge, mill, and then set a bluff. And it forces the Rescue Cat, and then he actually goes into Stardust Dragon and not Red Dragon Archfiend, which is really nice for me because I can just run over Stardust Dragon now with my King of the Skull Servants. So that's what's happening. Unless he has DD Crow, which he doesn't. So thankfully, you know the vibes. We got that king. We got that king on deck. you dropped this king. You know what I'm saying? Fucking base card right here. Attack for 3k. Get that money attack in. Set Goblin Zombie. It's going to be very difficult to lose from here. Yeah, pretty much can't lose. We just have huge life advantage, and he's dead on board. So, yep. That's going to be that. So, last match. Moving into the last match with this spooky Halloween special. He says, I drew double air bell and 2 titanium. I'm like, that's brutal. Opening hand, kind of tough. I'm not going to lie, kind of tough, but maybe we can make it work. Set back row pass. We have Lila. Unfortunately, it is the torrential. I considered leading on Goblin Zombie, but it's hard to tell when to lead on Goblin and when to lead on Lila. I think it's usually better to lead on Goblin, now that I'm thinking about it. Especially with this hand that just needs to get stuff in play. Set back row pass. Set Lady in the White. Here comes Phoenix Wing, which is really bad for me. Dude, I still need to sneeze and I can't. It's brutal. It's brutal out here. Anyway, Phoenix Wing, target the Lady in the White. Set monster pass. Here comes the Goblin Zombie. Flip Violet Witch, attack the Goblin Zombie. Somehow he knows that Violet Witch can attack over Goblin Zombie here. Search Plague Spreader, attack for 17. We're taking 17. Emphase Mill in 3. And hits a couple of plants and another Amaryllis. So I'm just kind of getting crushed here, no lie. On our turn, we draw another king, and I'm like, bruh. At least I can try something. But then he has fucking Polynosis, and I'm like, dude, kill me. Yeah, so we're just kind of getting run over. Violet Witch, by the way, is just a really bad card. I feel like this card is just worse than Mystic Tomato on every front. Anyway, attacks for 17. Emphase Mills another 3. Hits Dandelion. So things are just looking tough, you know. Here comes Amaryllis. Thankfully, we top deck Heavy Storm, so we can actually make something happen here. I want a normal Mizuki, crash with Lila. Main phase 2, Mizuki back the Zombie Master, Pitch Plague, Special Plague, Synchronous Brownic, Special Dark Armed, Pitch Skull Servant, bounce the Amaryllis, activate Dark Arm, blow up the Violet Witch, activate Dark Arm, blow up a token, pitch the Lady in the White, bounce the token, pass the turn. We have a strong king. It's a 2000 king, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to win the game. He is able to debris nuke, which is really bad for us because we lose all our payoff. But we still have the strong king, and now we have a brain control too. We know his hand is at least 1 brick, which is the Amaryllis. We attack over token, pass. He sets 1, pass. We draw Book of Life. We attack over the token, pass. He sets 1, pass. We draw a Dandelion. One thing about King of the Skull Servants is it's nice because it's pressure that Mark of the Rose doesn't do shit against. Drawing Dandelion here is pretty nice. We attack his Dandy, set our own Dandy, pass the turn. He can double sack for Amaryllis. Deals us 1,000, but he loses his Amaryllis, and he passes, and he forgets to bring out the Amaryllis, which is so good for us because we have Book of Life. So I'm going to Book of Life, bring out King of the Skull Servants, and banish his Amaryllis. He might not have forgot. He might have just been like waiting on using it for a better opportunity, but yeah, ended up getting punished by Book of Life there, which is really nice. I get punished by setting the Dandy for having for drawing 1 for 1 basically. Thankfully, all of his Titanials are out of his deck, so he's forced to go for Lord Poison. Lord Poison doesn't do anything against me because my monster is stronger. Anyway, he passes. We rip Caius. I'm like, based. Let's go Caius. Banish the Poison. Attack for 4,400. King of the Skull Servants. Literally the most Chad monster you can summon in this format. He's actually so Chad. Set 2, pass. I just swing. Fuck it, we ball. Mirror Force, sadly gonna clutch it from him. He passes. We draw. We find Card Trooper. He shows us a couple of 8-star monsters in his hand. And we realize that we have stolen victory from the jaws of defeat. Anyway, this game, not so simple. Not so simple, sadly. We draw into our Lightning Vortex. I did side these in. Titanial, set back row, the vibes. Lightning Vortex, pitch Dandy. I'm thinking I'm chilling, right? I'm thinking we're back, you know? But he has fucking debris nuke, and I'm like, bruh, there goes all my fucking advantage. There goes all my initiative. And we draw fucking Skull Servant. I'm like, dude, I've been siding one out, and I've drawn it every single game. And I've got 42 cards in my deck. I'm like, come on, please. He has Call for Titanial. I actually make a mistake here targeting the call. He thinks the call's on the Titanial, so he negates. So we both make a fucking stupid-ass play here. Draw Book of Life. I have no zombies, so I can't fucking do anything because I haven't been able to mill. I attack for 300, pass. Set, attack for 300, set torrential pass, and then he does some crazy shit. Yeah. And then I'm just like, oh, should I torrential this now? And I was like, no. And he banished his Chaos Sorcerer, and I'm like, all right, now my torrential's useless. Okay, things are looking rough. Here comes his own torrential. I'm forced to chain mine so he can't add back. But yeah, things don't look good. I could have Book of Life to bring back the Skull Servant, but he has... I guess I should have done that. Yeah, I should have done that. Either way, he has another Amaryllis, so it doesn't end up mattering. And I'm just over it at that point. I'm like, my hand doesn't do anything, so I'm going to concede. And I was already at too big of a deficit in both cards and life and position, so I was like, my grave isn't set up. All my millers are gone. Let's just go to next. Let's just go next. I've got some insane cards for the sideboard. I've got a Zombie World. I've got Level Limit. I've got Gravity Bind. Let's make this a really good fucking match, right? Pitch Mizuki, special quick draw, synchro into drill, pitch Lady in the white, banish the drill, activate Zombie World, good luck, have fun, Dopaminer. He goes, Lone Fire, try to activate, but no, you cannot. All monsters on the field in the graveyard become zombie type, including your pathetic Lone Fire Blossom. I said, nice try, Zombie Blossom. Hit him with the Zombie Blossom. He attacks me for 500. We take 5. He soul releases my entire grave, and I'm like, bruh, that was the most insane soul release ever. The fucking counter. Normally this deck plays Fiend Comedian. Why are you playing soul release? Bro, I'm so malding. That was the most malding soul release of all time. I'm like, dude, now my drill does nothing. I run over the Lone Fire. And then, of course, he has the Debris Nuke too, and I'm just like, dude, come on, give me a fucking break. I draw Book of Life, and I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? The turn after my Zombie World gets popped. Like, I would have been fine with Drill dying, but Zombie World dying is the worst part, you know? Anyway, and now he has Alchemist, and my fucking Vortex does nothing, because he, of course, it's the best monster in his deck. Lone Fire Blossom hits for 18. Thankfully, we topped that Call of the Haunted. Ooh, spooky, haunted, Halloween. All right, Drill, Dimensional Alchemist banish, but I'm bringing back my Drill, baby. It's drill time. He considers crashing, and if he had crash and add back Lone Fire, and then when Lone Fire Titanial, we would have had Vortex, so it would have been fine. We draw Dandy. Perfect top decks, back to back. Call of the Haunted into Dandelion. Bruh. Insane draws for me. Insane. Drill Warrior is literally the best synchro monster in this format next to Bryonic. Okay, second best synchro monster in the format is Drill Warrior, and it's not close. It's like not close. It's so good. Look how busted Drill is here. He attacks over my tokens. I literally don't even care. I bring back Drill. I bring back Dandy, and I'm like, watch me. I'm attacking for 12. What are you going to do? I could have attacked over the Violet Witch. I hadn't registered that both his Lone Fires were gone. I just didn't want to give him a chance to search Amaryllis and then unbrick a potential trade-in. As you can see from his hand, though, it's literally all 8-star monsters. So I probably should have just attacked the Violet Witch. This is the Amaryllis dilemma. I think this is the issue with the deck. When you draw trade-in, it's the best deck in the format, and when you don't draw trade-in, this is what happens to you. I Vortex anyway, just because he doesn't have, like, anything to get with his Lone Fire that I really care about. Like, even getting Titanial just gets kind of cucked by Drill Dandy. I pitch Book of Life because we have no zombies, and our one Zombie World is gone, so I'm like, we don't really need this. Sets of back row passes, bring back Drill, add back Dandy, go have skis, attack for 12, but he top decked the Mirror Force, and I was like, dude, how are you gonna top deck Mirror Force like that? Anyway, I pass. He sets torrential passes. I draw Fossil Dyna. I'm like, nice. Dyna can run over Dandy if that's what's set. And at this point, I thought it was Dandy, but it's not. It's Raikou. He pops, and then he also mills a Dandy, and I'm like, well, fuck me, right? He gets 2 tokens. We pass. He goes charge. He mills an Amaryllis. He finds a Lila, and things start to slip away. I'm not going to lie. He summons Titanial off his tokens, runs over one of our tokens, but then we rip Gravity Bind, and I'm like, okay, I can present him with a 50-50. I'll just set 2 pass. He needs to summon another monster to at least deal me damage this turn, and then it'll make my Vortex Dandy even better next turn, so that's why I held off on it. Here comes Lila. He hits the Allure, and I'm like, thank based God you hit the wrong one. Thank based God. Here comes Amaryllis Activate. End phase mill 3, which is crazy. He didn't want to attack there and do a potential Mirror Force. Maybe just trying to set up something. I'm not really sure. I would have milled 3 before bringing back the Amaryllis. Slight sequencing thing, but not a big deal. I can use my Dandy to run over the Lila here. And now we've just entered stalemate zone because I've got Gravity Bind. He's going to try to attack, but no. We've got the bind. He sets 2 and passes. We rip Goblin Zombie. I'm like, nice. I'm going to Lightning Vortex. He actually lets this resolve. We We take 800, and then I go for Book of Life, but he solemns the Book of Life, which is interesting. And then I set the Ryko and pass. No, I don't set the Ryko. Huh. Wonder why I didn't set the Ryko. Anyway, he goes for Debris Dragon, but because he Debris Nuked so early and he has an Avarist, he can't actually go for the Debris Nuke again. So this is totally fine. This doesn't accomplish really anything but put up Tribute Fodder. And he just passes the turn. We find our own Debris Dragon, which is actually a game shot at this point, as long as we can clear our own Gravity Bind. So basically what I'm thinking is set Ryko, next turn maybe pop my own Gravity Bind, and go for the game shot. He double Tribute sets, and then brings back Amaryllis in defense. Again, I don't really care about this. I'm going to Ryko pop one of the back rows, and then he's going to chain, actually. He's going to chain Torrential Tribute, blow up all the monsters in play. We're going to take 1,600. We're going to mill 3. We're going to reveal a few more cards that we sided in. I'm going to go for Debris Dragon. I'm going to say fuck it. You don't have it. I'm going to go Stardust Dragon. I'm going to Typhoon my own Gravity Bind. I'm going to attack for game. And that's one hell of a way to end the Halloween special. Happy Halloween, everyone. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is my 666th video. Hail Stan. See you guys in the next one. Peace.